Welcome to Coventry, UK City of Culture 2021, and home of Lady Godiva, Rising from the Ashes, Peace and Reconciliation, and Exhall Grange School. We're about 100 miles away from London, 20 miles away from Birmingham, home of Symphony Hall and the Bullring, and 20 miles away in another direction from Stratford-upon-Avon, home of the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. Lady Godiva was the wife of Leofric, Earl of Mercia, which are both well-known names in Coventry in their own right. Legend has it that in the 13th century, Leofric had imposed such an oppressive tax regime that Godiva rode naked through the streets of Coventry in protest. Everyone stayed indoors and kept their windows closed to preserve her dignity, except one tailor, known ever after as Peeping Tom. Today, there are several statues of Godiva in the city, and her name is used to brand several high-profile events, including the Godiva Music Festival and the Godiva Day of Peace and Reconciliation. Peace and reconciliation and rising from the ashes go hand in hand. The Coventry Blitz was a key focus of the Second World War. The most devastating of these bomb attacks took place on the evening of the 14th of November 1940 and did not finish until early morning the following day. Amongst many of the buildings that were destroyed was Coventry Cathedral, the provost of which declared shortly afterwards that we should forgive not just the Germans who attacked the city, but ourselves for provoking the attack. He formed a rough cross out of 3 nails from the ruined building, and the cross of nails is now used as a symbol of peace and reconciliation throughout the world. Many migrants, primarily from the Commonwealth, were welcomed into the city to help to rebuild it during the 1950s and 60s, and at the same time, the phoenix, rising from the ashes, was adopted as the city's emblem. Exhall Grange School was the first school specifically for partially sighted children to be established in the UK. Built on a former Second World War army base, it opened in January 1951 with 12 pupils. It later widened its remit to include totally blind children too, and for a while it was even a grammar school. It's fondly remembered as one of the UK's leading boarding schools for blind and partially sighted children, but more recently it closed its boarding facilities and broadened its remit still further to include pupils with complex needs. We're an extremely welcoming city and would love to meet you if you're in the area. For now though, thank you for allowing us to be a small part of the 7th General Assembly of the International Council on English Braille.